Here, what he's explaining is the phenomena called earthshine.
Do you feel sometimes like the rest of us just don't exist in the same plane of dimension as the 1% ultra rich? If you don't, then this video will change all that because we will be showing you all the most ridiculous stuff people have bought with the kind of money some of us won't even see in this lifetime. But before we get into that, don't forget to leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel with notifications on so you don't miss any of our next videos. Make sure you watch till the end because we will show you some truly ridiculous and questionable expensive items, but let's start with some stuff that may be justifiable, if only they were a couple of $1 million cheaper. Top of the list, a double-decker jumbo jet worth $500 million. It's actually not unheard of for most all billionaires to have their own private air vehicle, but trust us, you haven't seen anything like this before. First, a member of the Saudi royal family spent about $300 million buying himself a double-decker jet. Sounds about right if he's royalty, right? But then he had to take it up a notch by introducing upgrades to make enough room for all his horses and his 2 Rolls Royces. That sent the total price past $500 million, which is impressive, I guess. But where the heck is he gonna need his jet, his 2 cars, and an entire herd of animals? Next up, we have a Da Vinci scientific journal that somebody bought for a whopping $30 million. It's pretty hard to question a man like Bill Gates on his spending habits because the man is free to spend his impressive fortune however he wants, but some of the things he has spent on are difficult not even to question a little bit, like a volume of Da Vinci's original scientific notes. The documents are obviously have some value historically, but they're pretty useless too, especially for its steep price. If you look closely at these multi-million-dollar papers, you can barely read anything because of how old they are. But hey, I guess people can put whatever price they want on something they consider good art, right? Just like Steve Cohen. This other guy spent $8 million for a preserved shark carcass. Can you imagine how many mansions you can buy for the same price? But no, Cohen was perfectly fine with getting himself a giant real-life tiger shark, which had been cut in half and suspended in a frame using formaldehyde. The artwork, done originally by Damien Hirst, first sold for $93,000, which wouldn't be that bad, only that it has appreciated in value and Cohen got it for $8 million. Here's the thing though, the wonders of formaldehyde won't last forever, so this shark display won't even last a lifetime. Next up, we have a poker set that's sold for $7.5 million. Well, the only silver lining here is that the person who bought this must not have had any money to spare for actual gambling, so he can't lose any more money than what he spent for the poker set. Here's what he got for the $7.5 million. A frame made of 18-karat diamond and gold, which houses almost 384 18-karat white gold chips embellished with precious stones like rubies, white and black diamonds, emeralds, sapphires, along with 4 platinum-plated decks of poker cards. This is not a rare set either, so any one of us could order one for ourselves, but we'd have to wait about 6 to 9 months for the $7.5 million poker set to get delivered. Next up, a $3.2 million dog collar. You know our fur babies are truly precious and we would practically give them the world if we could, but would you feel comfortable spending $3.2 million for a collar? Well, Armor thinks it's totally worth it. After all, this dog collar packs 52 carats and is encrusted with 1,600 individual diamonds. The craziest part is that the dogs whose owners bought this won't even know their value, so they drag it through the mud or even refuse to wear them in the first place. Next is a $3 million window. Yep, you heard that right. This single window is more expensive than some of our houses. Of course, it is known that millionaires would pay a fortune for a good view, but this window doesn't actually provide any sort of view whatsoever. The only reason it fetched for such a handsome price because it was supposedly the window used by the sniper that shot JFK, and yep, heard that right once again, it's not even confirmed to be the actual window used in the assassination, so it could be a regular window sold for $3 million. Next, we have a handmade surfboard that sold for $1.3 million. If someone were to sell you a handmade wood-crafted stuff, how much would you be willing to pay for them? And if you were somehow persuaded to spend millions on a wooden surfboard, would you feel comfortable actually taking this board to the ocean and using it to ride waves, where a bad attempt could easily break it in half? Guess what? That would be a no. But the maker of this ridiculously expensive surfboard swears that the board might be expensive, but it's not overpriced. He said every part of this masterpiece was put in place to give it the best ride possible. Still seems a bit extra, don't you think? But hey, at least it's not a $1.38 million toilet paper, just like the next item on our list. One of the greatest pranks ever invented is a roll of those toilet papers that's printed with fake dollar notes, so your friends can say they use banknotes to wipe their behinds away. But this one is no prank gift. This $1.4 million toilet paper is so expensive because it's made from real gold. Nothing says more opulent than wiping away with 2-ply 22-karat gold paper, right? But if you're looking for a gift that's a bit less out of budget, how about a necklace for your Barbie-loving niece? We've got one right here for $300,000. Come to think of it, $300 million is not the biggest amount millionaires have spent on a single piece of jewelry. But might I remind you that this 1-carat square-cut pink diamond necklace can't even be worn by actual humans? You can maybe try it on as a ring, but it's actually a piece of jewelry for Barbie dolls. Talk about ridiculously expensive, yet utterly useless item. Here's something that's a little bit more useful: a gold mouse for a whopping $36,000. You may think that is a reasonable price for a computer mouse made out of real gold, but this one isn't actually made out of legit gold. It's just spray painted gold, and not even actual gold spray. So for 36 big ones, all you're getting is a golden mouse, which doesn't even look that pretty. If anything, it's tacky. But at least it's not a $24,000 guinea pig armor, right? I mean, there are actual people spending that much money just so they could upload a photo of their guinea pigs wearing precious metal armor. I mean, unless they're willing to send their pets off to war, this armor is completely useless. Next up, let's talk about the world's most expensive haircut. It's not senseless to get a haircut, but I guess anyone would agree that the Sultan of Brunei overdid stuff a little bit when he paid an English barber $15,000 to have his locks trimmed. To be fair, most of what was spent on actually flying to London just to seek the services of a local barber who normally just charges £30. Just that, don't they have amazing hairdressers in Brunei? Next up, we have a $14,000 diamond tea bag. If you think it's bad enough to spend $20 on a tea bag you're only going to use once, then think about all the people who spend $14,000 to buy a PG Tips limited edition tea bag. It's fully encrusted with diamonds. So we're just hoping the diamonds added to the good taste of your afternoon tea. And if you're looking to turn that brewed tea into iced tea, boy have we got the perfect ice cubes for you, which you can get for $325 per bag. Millionaires are very much familiar with the luxury glaze ice cubes, which are supposed to keep your drink cold for hours on end without altering the taste of your drink at all. But do keep in mind that each bag only has 50 ice cubes in it, so you'd practically be paying $6.5 for each ice cube. You better munch on these bad boys after you're done with your drink. Next up, we got $290 paper bags. You probably heard of Jill Sander, one of the world's best and most impressive fashion designers. Well, it's safe to say that anything she slaps her name on gains unbelievable valuation. Once, she decided to test the limits of her fame by releasing a line of paper bags, which she retailed for $290 each. And what do you know? These actually sold out. Unbelievable. Here's something even more ridiculous: Prada paper clips retailing for $185 each. It's even more insane when you think about the fact that paper clips are never sold per piece. So how much do you think it's going to cost you to buy a bulk of these designer label paper clips for all your scrapbooking needs? To be fair to Prada though, they never said these are regular paper clips. They're actually money clips meant to hold large stacks of cash altogether. So basically, it's a flashy way to carry all your money around. And topping our list of the most expensive useless things rich people spend money on are $30 Supreme bricks. You think that doesn't sound too bad compared to the rest of them on this list, though, right? But try to remember the purpose of bricks in architecture and society. Going with Supreme bricks means you'd have to cough up $4.7 million just to build a 2,400 square foot house. Now, there's nothing more ridiculously expensive than that.